and a lot of that based off of individual play with Michael. He's just taking fights everywhere, making it really tough to predict where he's going to be playing from, and then winning those fights when they happen. That's the kind of stuff we expect from Kenny and JW, to be unpredictable with the off and then just beat people up with it. So if he can keep that streak going, this is going to be really tough for Epsilon. Cash is definitely a strong op map.
Yeah, you're right. It could be, and especially on Cash, actually, because you can kind of do what you're doing on Dust 2. Like you pointed out, you can be fairly unpredictable. If you wanted to, you could just go sort of rock solid AWP and just AWP at the B bomb site all the time, and then leave 2 people mid, 2 people A bomb site, so that those 2 people or the other 4 people on your team can just sort of know you're covering B and they'll be safe. But you could do it the other way and be super annoying and run around all over the place. So I guess we'll find out which one Michael is going to choose to be.
Well, go ahead. Yeah, given how he played on Dust 2, I wouldn't be too surprised if he's all over the map initially. Depending on spawn, he could try to find entries all over the map, really. And I'm not opposed to that, actually. It worked really nice for them on Dust 2. I'm not sure how many entry frags Michael had, but it felt like it was closing to double figures.
Yeah, he definitely had a really, really good game. And he had a good game against Planet Key as well on the same map. So, yeah. I would say previously, and Dust 2 wasn't a map where I would say NiP were exactly feared on it. In fact, I think they had some pretty upsetting losses on that map. So, be interesting how teams are going to react to it if they are actually going to start to respect NiP on that map, or if teams or maybe a team just Titan could end up finding NIP on this map. That'd be fun. I don't think many teams want to play Dust 2 against Titan these days, though.
No. Just no. No. Like, what do you do against that? I was asking Pronax, and he's just like, no. No,
it's not happening.
It's not happening. Like, I don't care. You can come up with strats, you think you can handle it, and then Callie and Kenny just demolish you no matter what you do. So it's just, I don't think Dust 2 is going to be the map we're going to get to see Titan play much at DreamHack Winter.
Well, having strong ops on a map like Dust 2 definitely plays off. Wait, what?
Do you waste a ban on Dust 2? I mean, do you even consider wasting a ban? But if it's the random map system,
oh god,
imagine they let Dust 2 and Cobble through. You're just totally doomed. What do you do? It's a random, like, you get faded and you have an extra map in there that Titan will just wreck you on. All of a sudden, you can't control it.
I'm just crossing all of my fingers and toes that the random map thing from Gamescom has got to be buried under 15 meters of cement.
Dude, I don't think you're going to get your wish, but
2 weeks from now, we'll have the new season or something in there. We'll be like, oh yeah, guys, we're going to include this in the thing. I mean, it's the new operation, right?
Can I just to interrupt things here, just give a quick shout out to Fallen, who's currently hosting us for about 1,000 viewers as well. It actually says that in Twitch chat if you're logged in as the broadcast, it tells you who's currently hosting you. So obviously Fallen, who was at ESWC, well, the Brazilian player. Who, by the way, all the Brazilian players were just super friendly and super nice. So yeah, shout out to you guys. I hope we'll see each other again. Not just at the next ESWC, but hopefully there's going to be a lot more tournaments where we'll have more of an international crowd, because that could be really cool.
Didn't they kind of reform that Kaboom team right after ESWC as a really focused team that was supposed to travel abroad?
Well, wasn't Kogu coming back to play?
But I'm not sure if that was with the Kaboom team. I think that was made in Brazil. But although I don't think it's official. But I think Kaboom have a new lineup which is a mixture of the old Kaboom team and the old Team Target Down team, or PGTD.
All right.
So yeah.
Well, I guess we'll find out at some point or other. Either way, we're getting into the knife round here, so if you're just joining us, then welcome to Room on Fire, and some good Counter-Strike that's coming up your way here. It's going to be Cash for the second map. Third map will be Overpass if Epsilon can manage to win against NIP on this map. If they can't actually, I'm going to be pretty impressed with NIP, because out of the maps that NIP could have picked, I would say Dust 2 and Cash would have sort of before Michael definitely would have been some of their worst maps actually, almost. Whereas I would much rather see NIP play Inferno Nuke or something like that. Maybe not Mirage, but
the last few games that NIP have had on Cash, they have actually won. They beat Kaboom at USWC, they beat Copenhagen Wolves and Fragwhite Masters, as well as Epsilon in the same tournament. So their recent trend is looking upwards, but prior to that, they've had a couple of rough incidents or run-ins to teams like Titan and LDLC and Dignitas and Fnatic. So they just seem very inconsistent on Cash, but they obviously feel confident in it. So
you don't really want to be beat by Dignitas on a map like Cash, because Dignitas don't really play Cash that much. So well, we'll see. We're still learning and kind of just enjoying the whole thing here. So, Vendetta, you said 2-0, and I mean, so far you're halfway right.
Yeah.
Semler, were you on the 2-0 bus, or did you see Epsilon maybe taking this? I can't remember.
Nah, 2-0.
Yeah, he said Nif. Not sure if you said 2-0 or no, or
I would
anything at all, but
I would like to see an IP on Mirage now with Michaelele, because let's not forget Michaelele was on LGB when they were destroying people on Mirage. True. So he is scary on that map, and with an AWP, he can do some good things. So maybe that gives Nip another tool in their toolbox. You know, having Mirage once again in their arsenal.
Well, look at this. Couple of smokes here for Epsilon, which can be used both to get into the bomb site, but they can definitely also be used once you have the bomb site to keep everyone else out. Great flashbang here. Freiburg not going to get the kill, and it's the lock train. And, I mean, it's already at the end station. Freiburg was just on the small bit of tracks that was right there. Beast2 is going to go down as well to... Oh, sorry, Michael is going to go down to Beast2, and it's going to be Get Right with finally a good headshot coming in for an IP, but a great execute here from Epsilon. Beautiful round from them so far, and especially with GMX covering the toxic area over here. Forrest is going to walk right into it and doesn't stand a chance.
All right, question is now, does Exist manage to pick off Scream? And he needs to do it very quickly here. Scream's still alive, and this is going to be it. Exist is going to get forced out of this site. He doesn't have any gear on him, so he's just looking to land some shots, and that was a pretty good one on GMX. Only problem is, no kit. So he can't actually get onto this site in time now, especially after those shots. That's such a pity. That's it. Okay, but one thing that you got to point out is that flash that Epsilon used was a very cool one. Did you catch that?
Yes.
That was right off the angle. Perfect. Just pops right in Freiburg's face. Can't see a damn thing, and he gets completely wiped out. That was really nicely done there by Epsilon.
What kind of taste do you have in your mouth if you're Exist and you land 3 such beautiful USPS shots and it doesn't make any difference at all in the real world? That's gotta be upsetting.
Yeah, but I guess he figured out as soon as Bistafly got that second frag that the round was over, so he was just trying to maximize the value he could potentially get out of that round. And he did, so I think he's okay with that.
Now they do have the scout back in play. Oh, that was almost a double headshot, but one is going to be enough. He goes down eventually. Forrest doing massive damage with the pistol over from the truck. It's still Michaelele inside, and he's going to pick up Scream. Beast2 flies very low as well. Michaelele could finish this round, but Get Right's going to help out, and Beast2's already been hurt. He's got one click away from death. It's not going to be that time, and Get Right's jumping with the scout. See if he can catch anyone. Flashbangs out once. Is he going to get a chance to put the bomb down? I think he just might. Punching in the numbers. Get Right switches for the AK, and the round is won from NIP. They're really dangerous in these eco rounds.
Scouts are doing a lot of work as well. I think Exist tagged at least 3 people that round.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Scout doing a tremendous amount of work for NIP right there. And as it did on Dust too. We remember Freiburg in that first eco round they had. Picked up 2 kills and 2 assists or something like that. So it's definitely working out for NIP. And it's a shame for Epsilon because I think they needed to get off to a good start, especially being on the less favored side of the map.
Yeah, I think that hits it right there, man. The fact that they win the pistol, they should be just on cloud 9, right? Just soaring through, picking up second and third round, and going into this half pretty confident. And that's just complete opposite now. Nip have just tombed their hopes. Michaelele is now going to be in a pretty decent position to pick up his AWP next round if he doesn't die this one. And this gets very difficult for Epsilon unless they can somehow sneak a plant in here somewhere on this round. They need that bonus money, and it looks like it's going to be another B play. Yeah, they're walking the bomb over here now, so it's going to be the total bum rush.
Yeah, but look at Get Right. He's ready with the counter flash. So as soon as Freiburg calls for it, it's going to be a lot of dead Epsilon members, I think, unless they land an instant shot on Freiburg here. But they're not going to get a second chance. And, oh my god, it's a slaughter. Well, I guess the counter flank doesn't work exactly like it because Freiburg just kind of mans up. Get Right is going to finish it with a spray, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, the initial flash that GMX threw didn't do anything at all. I actually think he actually botched it a bit because it strafed past, or it just barely touched or grazed the wall. So it didn't really go anywhere.
I think it flashed his mates more than anything there.
Yeah, it wouldn't have flashed Freiburg in the initial position he had during the pistol round. And I think that's the same flash they wanted. So unfortunate for Epsilon, but then again, it was an eco, so not too much lost.
That's a lot of damage dealt from Exist here. Look at that. 2 people down to under 40 health just from being shot through the smoke. So yes, they get the mid control, but are they going to be able to use that much? This grenade could probably kill GMX. It's going to be right on him. It's almost like a claymore mine that Freiburg put down in those vents, and that's obviously going to be a pretty good opening here. And he's still covering the vents, and Get Right's there to come out. Another grenade rains in, and it doesn't quite end up with Scream, but now they're going to counter boost out here. Get Right. If he turns right, he's going to be able to get some good kills in. He gets the first one, holds down Mouse 1. It's a quick double. He looks for the headshot on Uzi, just trying to tab away. Does end up going down, but that's still such a powerful round from NIP. In spite of Epsilon getting mid-control, which is usually something that we credit terrorist teams for doing, so then why did it not work out better for them?
They got mid-control, but they didn't do anything with it. They got stuck in mid. Obviously, when you get mid-control, it's really good if you actually have the opportunity to push out and potentially pick off people in connector or towards A, or if you want to do a quick B split, but it didn't seem like Epsilon had any plan bar getting out into mid. And that's partially due to, obviously, the fact that Exist did a ton of damage to them and also throwing anti-flashes and whatnot to delay whatever push Epsilon wanted.
I'm actually kind of sad that Scream didn't land that headshot. That was a pretty clever angle that he was using there.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that from Michael's point of view, and you could even tell that he sort of had like a double take and said, wait, what? There's a guy still sitting there.
I do find one frag onto Forest here, Beast of Fly using that P250 for all that it's worth, but it's still an eco round. Michael is down to 2 HP, so they could potentially kill him, but I don't think NIP are going to have any troubles picking up that op if that is the case. But right now, Epsilon, all they can do is more or less search for opportunities to do as much economical damage as possible.
Yeah, GMX looking with that deagle. Really wants to see if he can land a headshot on somebody long range here. He's got the right idea. But he's still going to end up going down, which leaves Beastu alone in the middle, and he's going to fall to Exist as well. So actually, it's a team effort. Team aces, we sometimes call it for NIP. Every single member picking up 1 kill each, making it to 4-1. Pretty CT-sided map, this one. Maybe like 10-5 type CT-sided. So, I mean, Epsilon aren't going to be, I think, they're not going to be too hysterical yet. But at some point, they are going to need to pick up more than 1 round.
Yeah, I think they definitely need 4 or 5 rounds to have a shot at this. Potentially, actually, they would probably need more. But then again, this is the strongest side for NIP on this map. They win like 60% of the rounds on the CT side. So there is hope for Epsilon if they can string a couple of rounds together.
Interestingly enough, they decided to put Michael over on A side again. Rather than have him take that battle mid, was following GMX at the beginning of the round, looking to see if he could pick somebody up. Unfortunately for NIP, the execution was just a little bit off, or they were just a little early with their nades. They could have easily double naded GMX down, so he's got to be counting his lucky stars right now that he was just a second too late for those to be effective. Only takes about 20 damage, so definitely a good trade there.
Freiburg was trying to play the edge of the smoke against Fish over at the B-bomb site, and maybe that is going to work out. But if Freiburg gets overwhelmed here in the vents, if they come through into the B-bomb site, and especially with Get Right going back, this could actually be a pretty good execute from Epsilon if they're fast enough. But they're going to go in the middle instead.
Yeah, and Forrest is right on the edge of this smoke. As soon as it clears, he's going to spot them trying to make their way into connector. That opens it up for GMX. He still manages to return, but you do have Get Right lurking right there next to that position. If they try and wrap through here, it's going to end badly.
Exist waiting. It's going to take down GMX. Now they're trying to get into the B-bomb side. Get Right, Molotov out of position. Freiburg waiting in the back. He holds down Mouse 1 and sprays right into Fisher's face. And now it's going to be a 2-on-3 here. Bit of a pause being called for. Uzi's going to go down. Nice follow-up grenade from Scream, but he's only got 10 seconds. He's going to put the bomb down. And now it's a 1-on-2 here for the headshot master.
Yeah, he's looking for it, but Exist is just going to spray him down point blank. He did find the headshot on Michaelele. Like, still, he finds the headshot. Exist is really going to take the time to go and pick up that AWP. That's some confidence right there. It's like, okay, I got it. He's got his kit too, so there's no worries here.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Epsilon, I think did they have the right idea? And it looked to me like that was not such a bad idea, getting in and you know, taking out Freiburg. It just, you know, they just lost like 1 person too many essentially going into it. Otherwise, if they had been in a 2-on-2, they would have definitely been very likely they could have won it.
I think the smoke that was supposed to cover short here, where Forrest was holding down to mid, was the biggest error they made that round. If there's no gap there, then they can get 2 people safely in towards CT spawn, and Forrest picking up that 1 frag kind of just gave away everything that Epsilon wanted to do, and it allowed for both Get Right and Freiburg to set up for the eventual, the second part of the push, which is the split from B. If they get into CT spawn unnoticed, then I think Epsilon have a great chance of actually just backstabbing Get Right, which is not something you see happen often, but I think that definitely would have been a possibility. And at that point, it's just way too much for Freiburg to hold on to, because he needs to cover 4 different angles.
Oh, man. So, what are some of the things that we haven't seen from Epsilon? I'm starting to wonder, because...
An A split, or a straight up A push.
So how would you... When you say split, do you mean Squeak and main, or do you mean through middle as well? Because, I mean, the middle one is considerably more difficult.
Any variation of it is definitely doable. I guess seeing how well NIP have held down mid for the most part of the game, I would have probably tried out a split through A storage and the A, I guess, side halls or A door.
Squeak door, man.
Yeah, that would probably be the easiest, but then again, they constantly have to worry about Michaelele. Like, how far up do you want to push into A storage without smoking off and giving away the fact that you're pushing towards A? Because Michaelele can take so many different positions and actually get, or have a really good shot at getting that entry frag, and that could really mess up everything you're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, the ideal position if you're going to go for an A split like that is that he's holding all the way back at truck, because there's almost always a smoke that goes off that lands by the sort of the red container and forklift. So you can usually...
Yeah, you mean by the quad box?
Yeah, exactly. You can usually get out, somewhere along. Yeah, you bank it off that box and you can usually get out there. But if he's holding inside the bomb site all the way to the back of site, you could still end up losing a couple of people, and he's obviously going to have someone backing you up as well. So it is a bit of a gamble if you don't, as we've been sort of introducing it, here on the map before we even got started, that potentially he was going to move around a lot, and he definitely has. So that makes it hard for Epsilon.
It really does. You could see the one buy round where they picked up an op on GMX, right? They basically sat around and waited for someone to peek them, but that was a round where Michaelele was posted up towards A, and all they had really covering towards mid was Get Right, sitting extremely passively, basically just watching an angle from the mid connector up towards vents. That was basically their coverage of mid, barring Forrest standing more or less on A side, just having a slight angle down towards mid, and that was it. So it's very clear that Epsilon don't really feel comfortable, and they don't really have a good idea of what NIP are doing, and that's because Michaelele is moving all over the place.
Oh man. Well, if you don't know where he is, do you try and guess and see if you can outwit him, or do you just ignore it and, could you just ignore it? And, I mean, there are B rushes that can work on this map. I guess we kind of saw it in the pistol round where it's just a little bit delayed. But if they can get in and rush out, then maybe they can actually fight, after the bomb is down and when Michaelele is sort of on the outside.
I guess it's hard to do while you're in game because you're constantly in fear of running into an offer. But I think Epsilon more or less have to drop that mindset, really, that they have to, or they can't really be afraid of Michaelele wherever they go. They just need to make sure that the strategies and executions that they set up for cover all the bases. So if you're going to go towards A, you need to have a smoke that lands in between the red box and the forklift, and you need to have a smoke that covers quad boxes and something that covers spawn. You need to have all that down, and possibly, if possible, a smoke that covers short as well. You kind of need to cover every basis and then just go full on and commit to the bomb site. Otherwise, you're just going to be playing in fear, and that's never going to work out well for you.
Well, who are we waiting? Is it GMX again who's been disconnected?
I'm waiting on GMX right now. Talking it over real quick, trying to sort something out here.
All right, fair enough. Guys, in the meantime, if you haven't done it already, don't forget to go to facebook.com/Caseking Gaming. I'm going to put the link in the chat here. Like their Facebook page, and they are the sponsor for the tournament here. So, give a little bit back to them, and they will definitely appreciate it. And obviously, you can probably get some good offers as well from there in the future. So don't forget about it. Maybe some giveaways and stuff like that. So yeah, like the Facebook page, and we'll be happy for it. And then we're just going to be waiting a little bit. Sorry about the delay here. We're not big fans of delays. Also, remember, if you haven't done it already, to follow the channel. I'm not even sure how many followers we are up to these days. But yeah, somewhere on the plus side of 215,000, I think. So yeah, keep clicking that follow button if you haven't already, guys, and you know, that way you're also gonna know when we go live in the future. Oh, 220,000 actually. So thank you very much, all of you, for also following.
Sorry, no progress quite yet, guys. We're still working on it.
All right. Well, we'll one of these days we're gonna salvage GMX's connection, and then we'll have a real fight on our hands here. Hopefully for Epsilon, anyway. 16-3 was the first map, wasn't it? I think it was. So
yeah, sounds about right.
That's pretty decisive. What I mean, what do you think? Because obviously now we've seen them play pretty well against Epsilon so far, at least, and they beat Planicky as well, NIP. How do you think they're going to fare against a team like Fnatic? Because Michael Lilly is definitely he's definitely a good opener. We kind of knew that before he joined, but do you think he can stand up to JW and Kenny S and stuff like that? And is that even necessary from NIP's point of view? Like, does he have to be better than them for NIP to beat them?
I don't think so. But I don't think that... don't take that as me saying he can't play up to their level, because he definitely can. And he showed that several times when he was in both ESC and... No, ESG, I mean. Basically, after he left LGB, every team he's been to... after that, he's shown that he can definitely, play up to the level of the very best.
So maybe that is going to be enough. I'm certainly.
I think it's going to be. It definitely gives them another option that they have, because Piflarn was never an aggressive opper, and Michael has shown that he can play both aggressively and defensively with the ops. So it gives you a whole another dimension that you can explore, and it's probably going to be something that catches a lot of people off guard when they're playing it, because they've been so used to the way NIP are playing, because they have these 5 players and these are their strengths and whatnot. And now you have Michael Lilly, who's able to do a little bit of this and that could potentially throw teams off when they play NIP.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited. I'm hoping we're going to get a chance to interview them more in the future and just ask how NIP themselves sort of feel about it in the long run. I've just been putting a link to our store in there as well, the roomonfire.tv/RF-gear. So go and check that out. You can order t-shirts and a t-shirt and a hoodie either. So different sizes, and they're pretty nice quality as well. So if you want to have a Room on Fire t-shirt, then there it is. And we'll be giving some away later in the week here as well to some of our subscribers. So stick around. And I think we're still hoping to get GMX back in here at one point or other.
Apparently he's just trying to sort it out right now. Got him on, but we'll see how long it takes him to actually get in here. So apologies for the delays, everybody. Apologies. Not a whole lot we can do on our side. Unfortunately, it comes down to the players to protect themselves, and, well, some are less thorough than others. So we'll figure something out for the future.
Yeah, it's a problem that a lot of online tournaments have been dealing with, in case you haven't been keeping up with the news. But that's just apparently the way it is. I think in the last couple of weeks, Dignitas have been maybe the most hard hit, haven't they?
Yeah.
They
Which blows your mind when it's Dignitas, right? It's like you would think that a team like that could actually look into protecting its players somewhat, but
they have.
Yeah, that's why Device gets DDoSed every day still.
Yeah, but they have as far as I know, they have full VPN coverage, and they change their IPs, and then just doesn't have any impact.
Apparently, there's quite a few ISPs in Denmark that don't allow you to change your IP. At that point, if they have your IP, VPN does nothing for you.
Or those ISPs just use an ISP range of maybe 10. So all you have to do is basically guess the last numbers, or maybe you have a range of 100. Or it's not actually 100. It's 255. Then would be your range, But if you have a script that checks 250, that script will run in 2 seconds, and then you still know someone's IP. So
apparently, Zipnix tried once to actually he had a TP cable dragged across the lawn from his neighbor's house and used his internet, and that didn't help either. So
that's still a pretty funny image, but so as you know that. Not that great if you're the one.
It's not like pro players want to get DDoS. Like, who wants to, open up CS and then be shut down? Nobody wants that. So it's obvious that the players are trying to do what they can.
Well, actually, interestingly, I'm actually talking to a company right now who are supposedly developing a new router that's gonna kill the type of DDoSing that's going on right now. Is their claim? And they're sent. I think they're gonna send me one to test out in December. So
you should probably send that to the Dignitas guys. That way you get proper testing.
If they really want to test it. Well,
that's a good point.
Maybe we could arrange that too. But it could be fun.
Yeah, if it works, that would be heaven sent. No doubt about it.
Oh, I mean, those guys would probably be millionaires in that company, in a matter of weeks if that.
If it works, that's just the $1 million idea, easy.
Yeah, it definitely is. So we'll see.
Crossing fingers that it works.
The $1 million idea, really?
Oh yeah. Think about companies. It's not just CS games that get DDoSed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could do that,
big companies would get that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, you wouldn't have to call it, the Vendetta router. You could just show that the idea works. But it would be a pretty
sweet name, right?
It would be a pretty sweet name, but you would just have to show that the idea works, and then Netgear or D-Link or anyone else is going to buy it in a second for a lot of money.
That's like the Vendetta router would be pretty sick if like the router then like hunted down,
set it back.
Yeah, like hunted down exactly right. Like just went and tracked down the person and just beat him up, took his money or something. I don't know. Like that would be
pretty
good.
Sick.
Well, do we know how far away from success we are?
We're checking.
It's really weird DDoSing someone that's losing as well. Just, in case anyone's wondering if it is all about
rubbing
the skins
it
or
in.
something. Yeah, exactly. Maybe
twisting the knife in the wound.
Maybe someone bet on Epsilon and now they're upset that they're losing, so they want to punish them. I don't know. Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
Hopefully GMX gets back on.
Well, we're waiting patiently for that to happen, definitely are. Where is this crane operated from?
Oh, the one outside of the AE bomb site?
Yeah.
I think there's a carousel area as well, if I'm not mistaken. That might have been another map, actually.
There's no like... Is
there no, house?
And it also goes through the wall. This is
Hi, guys.
very weird. Alright, what?
Cache confirmed unplayable?
Yeah.
We will be live in 90.
Excellent.
All right.
Good news. So, again, we're sorry about the delay, but it's a little bit out of our control. Remember, after the show, we're also going to do a giveaway of a headset and a CPU cooler from BitPhoenix and Alpinfin, respectively. So, stick around for that. That's not just for subscribers. That's for anyone from a European country. So, that's the only thing. We can't do international giveaways just yet. But maybe in some future season, we'll be able to change that. I really wanted to watch Overpass as well.
Oh, yes.
That will be fun to watch, yeah.
But NIP aren't showing much mercy at the moment.
No, obviously NIP wants to get off to the best start possible with the new lineup, right? No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Or do they? Do they want to save the
play down expectations?
Yeah. I mean, actually, I assume not. Actually, because Michael Elias, we've been sort of drawing some comparison between him and other AWPers. And it seems like actually a lot of the AWPers work a lot better if they have a lot of confidence. So I'm assuming it would pretty just hurt their game if he comes in and doesn't do super well.
Oh yeah, you need to have confidence if you want to do well. You can't think that anyone's better than you when you go into duel. That's just going to leave you at a severe disadvantage. But it seems like we're live.
Yes. That only took a couple of seconds.
Whale. Okay. Freiburg having fun in chat.
Thank you, Freiburg. So,
alright. We're back into it.
Yeah, let me play please what GMX says. Hopefully he will be allowed to. It's the AWP still on Michael, and as we talked about here, the A bomb site, he does hold inside the bomb site, or at least on the edge of it, and not all the way back by truck, which means smoking him off is going to be it's not necessarily more difficult, but it means it's easier for him to move out of the way of the smoke if anything happens. And actually, NIP have a couple of members over here. Freiburg moving super aggressive out here, and it's going to take down Fischer. And now as he keeps moving up, he's going to know that Epsilon, the rest of Epsilon, aren't outside the B bomb site. It's a lot of information gained right now for NIP.
Exactly right. They can know that they're outside of A, perhaps outside of mid. You do have Exist in a position where you can try and listen, hear any kind of steps coming through towards that, toward that A site. But it looks like it's going to be Epsilon gathering up outside of mid, wrapping a man back around through T-spawn to potentially catch Freiburg off guard. But Freiburg, is he going to find Uzi? Yes, he will. Spots him out, and this could get interesting.
Yeah, looking really tough right now. Screamos are down to half health. GMX in the middle is actually going to land some really good spray there onto Exist. So that much is working out now. Freiburg is at the vents, and so is Get Right. They're really making sure if anyone comes through vents right now, it's not going to end well. Uzi tries to recommit. He's going to go down. Freiburg still waiting, and that's the bomb drop. Turns one. No, he turns 360 to get that kill. Literally 360, and then it's going to be GMX going down to Mike Hilali as the last. So yeah, there it is. What's up now?
Is this warm-up still?
No, that round was basically secured by Freiburg. Not just because he got those frags coming out of vents, but so aggressively, and then catching the guy coming back from T-spawn towards B. That basically tells NIP that this is going to be a B push. That's just how it is. Initially, when he picks off Fischer, that could have meant anything. It could have been just a standard setup from Epsilon, and he got caught out. But when he sees that other guy actually rotating back towards B, that's a pretty big tell for them, and you could see the way they set up that it actually worked out pretty nicely.
Fischer, again, trying to get the opening kill over here, and this is looking more like a standard setup for Epsilon, like you were talking about. You know, just spreading out across the map. So, we'll see if NIP... I mean, this time they're playing significantly more passively than they were last round. Much more defensive around here. It's a great opening from GMX. Taking down Michaelelli. Tried once and saw the shoulder or the elbow of Michaelelli, and then decided to commit to it.
Looks like they're going to try and change things up this time around, though. Epsilon going over to that A site. Exist is with the M4, and he takes a peek. Scream will punish him, and now all of a sudden we're looking at Epsilon in a great position here. Forrest is the only man alive on that A site to stop this push.
He's got the Molotov up already, but they're simply wrapping around him. They're going to come in from on top of the container, and now it's all down to Freiburg here. 1 on 5, trying to just see if he can walk out of it.
That makes it pretty straightforward here. Freiburg actually going to get boxed back in. What?
Oh my god. He landed that shot through. Uzi is not going to be pleased.
What?
So far hasn't said. I mean, you can... This is basically like paper, this whole fence here.
Oh, that's amazing. He hits that shot. Freiburg really is the wallbang king.
Oh my god. First is the 360 M4, and then it's the wallbang with the AK at a pretty improvised spot there. Great grenades raining in. Double grenade raining over into the T side of middle. Takes Fischer and also Beast 2 Flyer, you know, a little bit lower. And then Mike Kalele is up to this spot again, and they're going to walk right into him here. Unless they flash their way in, this is not going to be pretty.
They got the nades going in. Peek. There's the shot. Michael Lilly hits the timing just right. He's still waiting for Scream to poke through, but they kind of know where he is now, so they should be able to jump in. Counter flash is coming out from Nip's mates, though, or Michael Lilly's mates, and that's actually going to hold Epsilon at bay for the time being.
Get right and Exist picking up some good kills. They try to Molotov him out. He's down to 3 health. It so very nearly works. And then it just doesn't. Exist will get the shot off with just a pistol, making it a double for himself, and Scream eventually goes down. And the round will go to NIP, and Epsilon's economy gets reset. Fischer currently has 0 kills, which is obviously not that good. And Epsilon going to have to eco.
Definitely not the round they wanted. That's for sure. But again, that's what we were talking about. It's Epsilon, if they want to go towards the main push without really knowing where Michael is posted up from, they have to have smokes down that cover all the bases, and they didn't do that time around, so he gets the entry frag. And again, that just stops Epsilon's momentum, so they don't get all the smokes they wanted out onto the site early enough, and it just becomes a slaughter.
Look at the push coming in from Epsilon. I mean, with the smokes up in the middle to cut off the base of the middle like that, it's basically something we've seen Hellraisers do quite a bit recently. And they do manage to get into the middle, but then they run into Michaelele and Forrest there as well, gunning it out with a USPS. It's just going to be Fisher left. He will go down after landing a good headshot on Get Right, admittedly, but it doesn't quite work well enough. But yeah, these smokes that go in sort of, you know, in front of the vents, but to smoke off the middle of the map before you actually get all the way through. Pretty cool smokes to know and to learn.
No, I'm kind of surprised that Epsilon would decide to use that for a pistol round, though, for an eco round. Just because we've seen Hellraisers use that strat quite a bit, rifle rounds included, and they do seem to be pretty effective. So the fact that they decide to bust it out there, trying to throw that element of surprise out, didn't really work out for them, unfortunately for them. Nip were able to hold the push.
And look at Existent Forest. They're about to do the boost.
You make it sound like it's some kind of dance.
Oh.
Do the boost.
Now do the fall. Then delay their prostrate.
I was gonna say there's no follow-up move to what Forrest just did. He's gone, man. Freiburg taking a fight over here. Fisher gonna get grenaded down a little bit, but if they pushed A right now, Michaelele would be in a lot of trouble. They do kill Fisher. If he had just stayed alive, he could have kept a lot of NIP members over here. Now they're gonna try and boost up into the vents. GMX gets the first kill here. That means no one's being boosted in.
Are they really going to speed up the A play here, though? Looks like a moment's hesitation here on Epsilon, but they are going to wrap around to B. After a few seconds waiting, Freiburg, however, is going to be in a great position to stop them. He decides to sneak forward. This could completely catch Epsilon off guard. They may not expect him at all to be in this sort of forward position.
No. Oh, Beastu still gets the kill, but then Exist is here, and actually he's not going to get anything done. So Epsilon looked like they made a pretty bad choice then, but the power of the aim there on Beastu just a little bit too much for Freiburg to handle.
I actually think in that situation, when they've created so much space between the NIP members, they can do no wrong, really, as to what bomb site they opt to go for. Even though there are two people towards B, Freiburg's so low that, at best, he should be able to get at one player at the most. So, Epsilon have the bodies to throw around to make any attempt towards any bomb site really justifiable.
Well, Epsilon are running out of options here, and they're also running out of money. Not that NIP have a lot on their side either, but Epsilon need to get these rounds on the board here. Not just 3, maybe 4, but I would say considering how well NIP are playing, I want them to pick up 5 at least here, and that's going to be tricky unless they really start stringing rounds together. But if they win this one, I mean, they are going to force an eco on NIP side, and at that point, you know, maybe it's possible.
And they're setting up for the smokes in mid once again here, so...
And the Molotov into
control.
vent.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very cool here. This is the round that I was expecting to see from Epsilon. Now they decide to set it up with the smokes to cut it up, start putting pressure towards this B site. Scream is going to be the one taking a peek towards Checkered, but Nip, however, have a very passive hold this time around, really changing up their game. This is burning a lot of time off the clock for Epsilon, having to check these angles.
Oh, so nice opening. Scream just finds Freiburg, and that leaves Get Right all alone inside the bomb site. He picks off one, he sprays, and he actually can't connect on Beast 2, even though he had some time to do that. So, generally speaking, a very good opening here for Epsilon. Bomb goes down, and the question is, should NIP even try and fight this?
They shouldn't. They don't have money.
Yeah, just save your weapons at this point. You've got a Mag 7 on Michaelele, so it's obviously not optimal for a retake. They just need to get away there with their guns intact.
Yeah, pretty much. If they could not find the shot, the instant return, Forrest pretty much. If Forrest couldn't find an instant frag to bring it to a 3-on-3 quickly, at that point, it's not really advantageous to be taking that fight. Michaelele holding in CT spawn could have an opportunity to take a gun off a Scream. Except that Scream is just like waiting on the other side. Oh, he's going to spot out Michaelele. That is poor luck there for Michaelele.
Mag 7 is gone. 2 rifles remain.
They could still do a lot of work with those 2 rifles, but Epsilon did a good job there. Not that they meant too much for systems, really. I'm actually kind of surprised that NIP opted to go away from their somewhat aggressive peaks towards the B bomb site, because it's been working out pretty well for them up to this point and play so defensively. And you saw how easy it was to catch out Freiburg for Scream there as soon as he dropped out from bed. GMX
started this round with a double shot that actually hit Forrest right through Exist, so They wanted to take the 2 rifles on NIP and push aggressively over at B, which so far has actually worked pretty well for the Swedish team, but this time they kind of get shut down. So Epsilon in a serious spot where they can actually, basically win this first half for themselves.
This is it. Freiburg is going to be able to pick up Uzi, but this is all that they're going to manage here. Epsilon with a near perfect take on this B site, taking minimal damage, apart from losing the one guy, obviously. Forest is definitely going to be backing off at this point. Opposite side of the map. I wouldn't be surprised to see Epsilon try and hunt them, though.
Oh, that's definitely what they should do.
I mean, they have the money for it. He hasn't made a noise. He hasn't made a peep close to this bomb site, so they should be out and looking for him pretty much. Because if they can get that gun off of him, that's a pretty big blow dealt to the NIP economy.
And I wouldn't be too surprised either if they know that Forrest is the one guy who's tagged up from GMX's shot earlier, because they only had 2 guys with weapons. Both of them were shooting at him from B, so they should be aware of the fact that Forrest is pretty hurt.
They want to find him, but they are not gonna. He's pretty much as far away as he possibly could be from the remaining terrorist players, and that is going to be 8-5 here. Now it's actually kind of on NIP to make sure they don't end up in a position where they lose too many rounds here in the first half. Epsilon buying 4 Molotovs. Now, we've already seen Epsilon Molotov the vent, which you can do all the way from the sort of A side of the map almost. You can actually firebomb a large portion of this A bomb side as well. So it kind of be cool to see if Epsilon managed to do that. So it's a strat that we sometimes see Titan pull off. So yeah, another French team, maybe they're going to copy them a little bit.
You can also do that towards the B bomb site. Throw mollies through the window, breaking the glass, and basically cover, I'd say, 3/4 of the entire B bomb site. Yeah. So that's also a possibility, and they've have had success going towards the B bomb site so far. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them work towards that area, but we'll have to see.
Oh, they firebomb sandbags. They firebomb the vent as well. So there's at least 2 of the Molotovs used, and they must have used a 3rd one somewhere else because they only have 1 left. So definitely just using it to clear out part of the middle right here and make sure no one's holding anywhere close to it. GMX is going to go down to get right, looking right at the top of the smoke. Michael is in the middle with the M4, just hiding at the edge of the smoke. And he's going to peek out just as Get Right goes down. Only gets the 1 kill in, which leaves Forrest to come in. So still a 3-on-3. Freiburg inside the bomb site's got to try and see if he can defend long enough for the rest of his teammates to come in. Forrest did take down Scream in the middle. It's Freiburg just holding inside. He spots Fischer, but he can't win the battle. Forrest can, though. And now Beastoo's in a tough spot.
Yeah, he's looking actually to win this, and he is going to take the first step towards doing that. Takes out Forrest, turns this into a 1v1. It's all on Exist now to make this happen for his team. And he's going to get the drop on Beastoo. Beastoo expecting him to come in through mid. But it's just not meant to be this time. Perfect retake here by Exist.
Well, it pretty much was, but these rounds are still way more impressive than earlier on in the half. I mean, when they're looking at the graph here, it started off with a pistol, then NIP won the follow-up round, and then it was 6 rounds in a row for NIP before Epsilon got 1, then another 2 for NIP, and now they have just they've had 3 rounds streaked in here. So I mean, they did something right for those 3 rounds that NIP just couldn't deal with.
Yeah. They definitely found a gap somewhere, and also NIP did change up the way they were setting up on B, which Epsilon were able to take advantage of, and that kind of snowballed them on that 3-round streak. And now we're seeing NIP going back to, I guess, the tried and true thing.
Yeah, AWP in the hands of Mike Keller, still hovering over at that A bomb site. And in the meantime, still got some Molotovs in play. Not that many grenades on an IP, though, in case it ever came down to like a retake or something like that. Or just buying more time off the clock. That's not going to be too easy for them.
Well, this is looking like a pretty decent spot here for NIP, though. 3 guys gathered up outside of A. If Uzi decides to open Squeak and start taking shots, Exist is going to be in a pretty good position to deal with him. NIP so far have got a pretty good read on the situation. Epsilon with 45 seconds left are going to start using the nades. The bomb is here, and it will be an A play. Now, can NIP actually land the shots?
Exist is going to spot out Uzi, just like you said, coming out of Squeak, and Beastoo, he's down in main as well. Exist will pick him off. Scream trying to come up from the backside, and right now they're a man down. They need to get in here and get these kills home. Scream is going to go down. takes out the CZ75 and finishes off GMX. That's currently a quad kill for Scream. He needs one more for the ace, and he is going to pick it up. That's a great way to finish a half here for the Swedish captain. 18-5-5. Also top fragging with that ace at the end. So, did GMX get DDoSed again?
I'm wondering. It looks like it. Hold on. I'm going to check in the chat.
It feels like something is up anyway. Well, NIP seem to be ready. We might have to wait just a little while for GMX to get back online. Hopefully not too long. Remember, after that, after this, well, if NIP win, actually, we're going to go straight to the giveaway. If not, we're going to go to Overpass. So either way, if you want to win either a headset from BitPhoenix or a CPU cooler from Alpenföhn, then stay tuned and make sure you don't leave too soon, because we'll do the giveaways pretty quickly afterwards. It has to be European, so you got to make sure that you check your inbox as soon as we make the drawing, because then we're going to just check that you're from a region we can actually send anything to, otherwise it's not going to work out too well. And again, follow the channel if you haven't already. Also check on roomonfire.tv, where you can check out our new store, where you can buy some t-shirts and some hoodies, and you can also, check out a bunch of other stuff on there that we've slowly been upgrading the site with. So yeah, go and check that if you haven't already. And also facebook.com/Caseking Gaming. Go and like that page. Again, I think we're just a couple of hundred likes off of having 35,000. Yeah, actually, about 120 more, guys. So if you haven't done it already, go and like the page and help our sponsors out a little bit, because they're helping us out with this tournament. So do that. Do that already. Vendetta, what do you say about this first half? Did Epsilon, did they play up to something you would call acceptable here?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They had some really solid rounds. I would have liked to see them do it more often, though. I guess they had a lot of success towards the B bomb side, so I would have liked to see that continue. I can never understand why teams opt to go away from something that works until it doesn't work anymore. I'm of that, don't fix it if it ain't broke, right? That type of mentality.
Yeah.
So when they got a lot of rounds going towards that B bomb side, I would like to see them continue on doing that. But they picked up 5 rounds. That's absolutely doable. If they win the pistol round, they're right back in it. And from that point on, it's Nip's job to really hold them off and actually manage to get 6 rounds on the T side, which is not easy on a map like Cash.
No, it definitely isn't. I mean, and NIP, as we said, don't always have the best track record of playing on this map that way. But I guess we'll see if Michael has made the change for them. Certainly seemed like he had on Dust 2. I mean, then again, Vendetta, Dust 2, if you had to bring in a new player, maybe Dust 2 is ultimately like the easiest out of all of them to play. Do you think NIP are going to have a harder time playing on, maps like Nuke or, Mirage, Inferno, stuff like that, where it's maybe a little bit more tricky?
I don't think anyone's going to play Nuke versus Nip, especially now with Michael and the team. I think actually there's a couple of maps that are definitely, I can see them definitely being a lot stronger on, such as Dust 2, and I think Nuke is also one of those maps, given that they get the rotations in and all that stuff. Otherwise, they could go any which way, but Michael is a really solid player, even though he's only got 5 frags here in the first half on Cash, but he gives NIP so many opportunities to play in different types of ways that I think it's going to be beneficial for NIP in the long run. But it's too early to tell, really, this early on. I think they're going to be inconsistent in every online match they play up until DreamHack winner, and the major will finally help us decide whether or not they've gotten their things, their stuff together or not.
Well, Scream has some stuff together here. Fisher actually helping out with a headshot. Get right will get the return, and now Fisher needs a little bit of backup. GMX is up on the high ground. Another good headshot reigns in, and NIP gets shut down. Triple kill from Fisher with the USPS. Very nicely handled here at the B bomb site, sorry. And that's now currently Epsilon winning both the pistol rounds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they won the first pistol as well. But then again, they lost the eco. They lost versus the eco the following round, so they need to make sure that they don't run into any scary scouts or anything. Luckily for them, I suppose, no one from NIP have actually picked up a scout this time around.
No, they've actually gone for pistols and nades, surprisingly enough. You know, especially, like, you hit the nail right there, man. Especially after how effective the scouts were on their CT side, for them not to go for them here is pretty interesting. But it looks like it's just going to be the full YOLO rush, so this is it. They just want to be quick on their feet, try and put the pressure on fast. Uzi going for the mad spray, not going to get any frags, but does a lot of damage.
He's getting shot in the face, though. Beast 2 Fly is going to go down. Uzi very near death. He's going to fall as well. Now, Epsilon have got to be careful. This is kind of history repeating itself here. They have got NIP locked in, and NIP haven't even got the bomb down yet, so it's definitely doable. And now Get Right's going to be fighting. Instead of putting the bomb down, just fighting to get more kills in. CZ75 has 7 bullets left, and he actually makes it out. And do they realize?
It doesn't look like it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, now they go. Now they go.
But he doubles back.
Right. Yeah, this is so smart.
The mind games. The mind games. Scream is back in mid right now, though. He's looking towards mid connector. It looks like they're going to post him up on the B site. They still have Fisher alive to watch their CT spawn, but if Get Right comes out through Squeak Door, he's going to be able to get out on this site without Fisher being able to stop it.
That is so cool. That actually allows them to get the bomb down. Now, still don't think NIP, like Get Right, is actually going to win. Oh, he gets the headshot!
God.
What? He should have been dead right then and there. Now, I mean, the bomb is actually planted in a pretty bad spot for him to walk out, but see how cool Scream is going to be. He's going to go straight for it. Get Right, is he going to realize? No, he's not going to be in time. Scream has it. And Get Right goes down. Still a pretty brave effort coming out here from Get Right.
Wow.
Yeah. Well played from Get Right, and also really well played from Scream. I'm not sure if Fisher actually saw Get Right on the death cam going in towards A storage, but if he did that, that's probably what made Scream take the decision to actually just go for the straight defuse, which was the correct one, obviously, given the plant.
Yeah, it's one of those. I mean, Get Right didn't really have a choice planting anywhere else, but it's one of those tricky things about this A bomb site. In fact, is that sometimes you actually end up, or most of the time, you end up doing the safe plant in this corner. And actually, a lot of the time, the best way to plant is on the far outside of the container, where you can actually look in towards the whatever APC tank it is that's actually up in the container. If you can plant on this side, it's so open for the CT to try and defuse that it's very hard for them to do without a lot of backup. But then again, if you want to put the bomb down there, you kind of need to have a lot of control as well.
Exactly. I think again, unless you see a certain smoke tactic deliberately trying to get the bomb down in that plant, in that site or in that position, which would probably be on an eco, similar to what we see Fnatic have done on Inferno with their B smokes, and NIP and Fnatic have done on Nuke on the upper bomb site. If you're able to get the bomb plant down there in a buy round, you've probably cleared out everything to the point where you've probably won the round either way.
Yeah, that might be true. But
it is the optimal plan, I think, because yeah, he's open from so many angles that it's going to be a nightmare for anyone trying to defuse it to actually cover all the angles that he has to do in order to defuse safely.
Yeah, we have seen some cool smoke strats that sort of go in that way, but I mean, maybe there's room for exploration on the tactical side of that. We'll find out.
Absolutely. I think Titan is one of the teams to actually have smoke tactics for that plant. I want to say Titan to have that.
Yeah, I mean, Titan certainly have a lot of strats. I'm actually wondering, isn't it Titan that also recently decided in the B-bomb side to plant in the far left corner, and then actually to hold that plant from checkered?
Oh yeah, you mean like at the very inner corner?
Yeah, absolute corner.
Yeah, I think we've definitely seen that. It was one of the French teams for sure.
Yeah.
Not sure if it was LDLC or Titan.
Because actually, in B-bomb side generally as a terrorist side, you also end up doing like the default plant by the whatever bullseye kind of thing.
Exactly, by the target.
Yeah,
thing.
Exactly. So I mean, and that's obviously not necessarily also the best place to do it. So it depends on how much cover you have and how much time you have. But yeah,
exactly.
I think
the reason why it's the most common plan is simply because it covers you from absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
Unless someone runs through from CT spawn or drops down from higher, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But it's not the best plant at all. I really like the plant that you can do towards CT spawn at the very edge, because it basically gives you freedom to pick off people from any which where you decide to play the after plant from as a T side.
Yeah.
But again, it's all about having control over the bomb site, which is pretty hard with just teams like NIP.
Maybe we'll see more 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 people exploring cache like that.
Oh yeah. Well, teams know about it for sure. There's no doubt about it. But it's kind of hard to put yourself into a position where it's actually something you can do, and it's a viable option to work more or less every single round. And that's what teams are looking for. They're looking for the most efficient way to win and the most safe way to win.
Oh man, we're slowly progressing here, but hopefully we can get GMX back in the game and actually finish it off here.
Yeah.
Do you have any news, Semler?
So at this point, basically, we are debating a stand-in because there are already 2 stand-ins on the team, Fisher and Bistu. If we get a third stand-in, then it really isn't Epsilon anymore. It's basically just flat out a mixed team, so there's no point in doing that. Yeah, at this point, I'm really heavily considering just giving Nip the win and just doing it that way. Epsilon can sort out their things for tomorrow night, and we can cross our fingers and hope that things work smoother then. But at this point, that's the discussion.
Yeah, we've actually had this problem before in the tournament, and I know we've had a similar problem during Fragmite Masters, and the rules were kind of the same. Yeah, if you have 3 people standing in, it's no longer your team. It's the same way it works for the major tournaments, right? You basically need 3 core members to call it your team, and if you can't have that, then you kind of end up forfeiting the match, which is obviously very, very unfortunate. But at the same time, if GMX actually can't get back online, then that's you. But Beast2 is also a stand-in. He's not. So does that mean 6 is still in play?
According to GMX.
Okay. Interesting. Well. Shall we put a time limit on it? Shall we say we give them like 5 or 10 minutes or something?
I think we should take a 5-minute break while we sort this out.
Well, actually, if we do that, guys, maybe we can do the giveaway that we've been talking about, because we might as well spend the time on something reasonable, right?
That's a good idea.
Let's do that.
All right, so I'll keep an eye on the game just to make sure we don't miss anything, but I'll switch it back to the camera just for a short while here. And then I will do this thing. So I'll open up to the public, guys. Remember, this is pretty much for everybody. You have to be European though. So if you type raffle in the chat, then you can win one of these headsets. The first thing we're giving away.
Anders.
Yes.
I have to stop you.
Yeah.
Because apparently we're about to have stuff happen. So don't go to break.
All right, I won't go to break. Can we do the giveaway?
Highly doubt you have time for that.
Oh, apparently we do not have time for it.
Yeah, so it's gonna have to wait.
Wait.
All right, we won't do anything. If the game goes on, we'll jump back in again.
Are we still on camera?
See, I'll get you back on camera too.
No.
Why?
No, it's all good, man. It's all good.
It's too late, man.
It's lip reading, right? You know.
We need you back on camera.
Yeah.
I think you can swap back to the game.
We should be back soon. We could potentially just go back to the game and admire Get Right's knife.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Is it? Yeah, all right. He's got his Twitter on there, I guess. That's become a popular thing, which is cool. You should follow the streamers. Guys, we will still do the raffle. It just means we'll do it after the game. I'm sorry, but obviously we don't want to cut into the game in order to try and do that. So please don't be too upset. He's coming, is what Scream is saying.
Soon, TM. No, but yeah, according to the guys on the server, we should be going live in not too long. And here we go. Uzi typing unpause. Now we're just waiting for Nip to do the same, and then we should be good to go.
All right.
He's back on the server.
Yep.
So let's see if Epsilon can actually push this to overpass, or if it's going to end here.
Yeah, well, they got off to a great start. Won the pistol, managed to stave off that push from NIP towards the A-bomb side as well. So for the first time in this game, they managed to win an anti-eco. That's a good sign if you're an Epsilon fan.
Get right. Did he buy an AK? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy, and especially because he's already fallen pretty low against GMX here. That's definitely not very NIP-like, having just one person do that. Scream is going to flash his way in and faces a whole bunch of Swedish players over here and takes down the first one. And will able to make it out without taking a... Well, he does take a fair bit of damage, but he gives a lot back as well.
He does, but yeah, that's a bit of a weird buy. This is something I'd be more inclined to see if we were watching Hellraisers. Hellraisers would easily do this. But NIP, not that used to seeing it, but could work out, I guess, for them. But Get Right, as you said, is already put to pretty low HP already, so it's going to be really tough for them to actually get anything worthwhile out of this round.
Yeah, and he looks the wrong way, all the way up from the A-bomb side. It's Uzi picking up that kill. Forest. GMX is going to peek up, and actually Forest just has a little bit too many targets. It will be the end of the round as Epsilon cleaned up without much issue. Just only Scream going down 10-8. And now, well, NIP, they're going to buy, except for Get Right, who obviously just bought that AK, so he's going to be on C-set instead.
So he will be. I mean, this is going to be still a bit of a tough round for NIP because it looks like Epsilon are starting to gather steam. And that's going to be a bit of a problem here if NIP have trouble breaking their defense. Already, Epsilon going for a bit of aggression on their side with the pretty forward hold on mid, but it looks like NIP are more interested in trying to open things up on this A site.
GMX scoped up, instantly takes down Freiburg. Easy shot there. Michael trying to show some wallbang angles here, but he's certainly not connecting with anyone just yet. But you can tell he's done the research and knows some of the likely spots that someone might be holding on the other side. That kind of opening is obviously pretty big, and as soon as GMX gets the kill, he actually rotates all the way across the map into the A-bomb site. So again, just trying to be unpredictable here. Forest close to the bomb site. It's going to take down Uzi first. Beastu falls. Finally, Scream comes in with a kill, but is it going to be quite enough? He actually comes up from behind the NIP players, and no one's even realized. No communication here on NIP. Gerite does get a good 180-degree turn-in, but Scream just coming up with 4 kills in that round. Absolutely beautiful. And did you catch that, Vendetta? There's no one from NIP who turned around and called out that he was coming.
That was a bit of an odd situation right there. I guess you could put that on being a new team. Who knows? It's definitely weird.
Yeah, he did have to silence a Scream. I mean, he's up to 26 kills now. He's definitely doing extremely well right here on Cash. But I mean, I'm surprised that no one from NIP saw that coming.
Yeah, sends the NIP back to an eco as well. So, a very good start for Epsilon right about now. 4 rounds in a row, and what should be a 5th one.
Exactly. Now it's set up perfectly for them. Plenty of nades used on the A side, though. It's going to be a full-speed attack here from NIP, but Uzi is holding marvelously. Gets a double before finally getting taken out by Freiburg, and there was still Vistufli alive in that site.
Yeah, they almost tried to knife him, or they did try and knife him. They just couldn't connect with it here. Freiburg alone, 1-on-2. Almost dies to the grenade. That's scarily close. He's going to take the chance, and he actually ends up jumping up against both the remaining Epsilon members. So good attempt from NIP, but not good enough. And now Michael has the open. I'm curious to see if that's going to make a difference in the game.
He hasn't had too much luck with it so far. 6 frags on Cash right now. Of course, he was camping that A side quite a bit and playing for the retake a lot of the time, with Epsilon hitting B so often on their T side, but still, he needs to have a pretty big round, I think, really, to just give him some confidence, get the ball rolling.
They are going to end up boosting him up in the middle. Opening kill for Get Right all the way over at the Squeak door to take down GMX. It's certainly a nice start. And they change something behind this and build something on it. Epsilon don't have that much money. In fact, 2 of them are very low on money. And Beast2Fly also only has 1,000. So pretty much only GMX and Fisher could buy something in the next round if Epsilon lost this one.
Yeah, that's the downfall of... obviously, they won the anti-eco rounds that they had, which is an improvement, but they still didn't do too well in them. They lost... Well, yeah, it was down to 1 and 2 members being alive for Epsilon both times.
Oh, Scream just landing some great shots. Take down both Freiburg and Michael. Get Right scoped up here in Squeak. I think he spotted Uzi out. That grenade would have killed him if Exist didn't first. So now it's all down to Fisher, and Get Right is going to out-AWP him here. So it will be a triple for Get Right, double for Exist, and they end up winning the round. And Epsilon should be ecoing right here, but NIP actually take the round lead back.
And this is a real problem here for Epsilon. I mean, this is the story that this half is told so far. Epsilon have been getting rounds, but they haven't been winning them decisively. They're always so close. So at the end of the day, their money's all over the place right now. They could force up, but why risk it, right? They're going to have to give another round to NIP here and just go for some pistols. And actually go for a stack as well. It's the full gamble from Epsilon. They're just crossing their fingers hoping that NIP are coming to the P site.
Beautiful grenade from Freiburg. Definitely punished the concrete for being there. But yeah, you're right. Why not try and go as a group and see if you can catch somebody off guard? Like, oh, nice shot from Mike. Catches the very edge of Scream as he's trying to jump down to the sandbags. And now if they make their way to B, they're gonna find just Fisher here.
He's gonna have a rough time defending that B-bomb site with a lone deagle, but I guess he could do some pretty good damage actually. Force has none of that though, so open B-bomb site for NIP, and this should be an easy round for them to clean up.
Maybe they could catch Get Right in the middle. They sort of got him boxed in here. He's going to walk right into Scream, and the smoke won't help him. So at least there is an AK that they can get out of here with, and they do need all the money they can get essentially.
Yeah, I'd say that's a worthwhile trade-off for them, no doubt. So they've lost what 1,200 in equipment value so far, and they gained an AK for it. So that's definitely worthwhile. But I'm surprised that Uzi is actually trying to take peeks here instead of just holding on to that AK. Especially with given how defensively the rest of the Epsilon members have posted up. GMX does get taken out by Freiburg though, so if anyone's to find another frag for Epsilon, it has to be Beast to Fly.
Yeah, and he could potentially run into Exist here. Or, yeah, well, he does run into Exist.
Yeah.
It's not the desired result.
Oh, they do get away with it with an AK, so that's still an okay return for their investment, I think.
It is. Scream almost dropping a 30 bomb here. I mean, we kind of know how good he is, but still. Maikelele going to be boosted up and wants to take the peek over. GMX is now actually looking where he just was, so if he re-peeks now, he could lose his life very quickly.
Scream is pushed up close as well. Scream is pushed up right below him. This could be a big opportunity here. Maikelele has not spotted this angle out. Scream could completely catch him by surprise.
He's so close. Beast 2 Fly is going to start off taking down Get Right. It's a nice start for Epsilon. And they can't lose this round. It's so close right now. They can definitely make a comeback and actually win this map here. They need to make sure they do it. Is he really got an underhanded throw? Oh, you're right. He just checks and runs right and jumps down against Scream, and he gets the headshot from pretty much perfectly right above him. That was great play. Beast 2 Fly now trying to play the edge of the smoke as he hears them running into the vent as well. It's going to be a B push, and he's coming up right behind Maikelele. He gets the kill. They still need to deal with Fisher inside here in IP, and they got to move quickly, otherwise they're going to get boxed in. Fisher goes down, though, and it's a 3-on-3, and look at Forrest. He's trusting his teammates to get in and get the bomb down so he can cover from behind. This is a good position from the checkered room.
Yeah, a bit of a problem there, though. Freiburg gets taken out. Forrest will save it and take out Beast 2 Fly, bring it back to a 2-on-2. But that was way too close. Uzi stands his ground, and another missed opportunity here. NIP getting picked apart, in large part due to not being able to clinch the kill versus Uzi. And in both cases, that was a pretty easy shot to take on Uzi. He was just standing there and taking the fight. But Freiburg and Exist both missing the shots when they needed to land them.
Yeah, and I mean, actually, just as you noticed, the bomb was planted in that corner that we were talking about due to our really, really long break. So it's almost like I would have kind of wished there would have been more people with Forrest in this checkered room, because you don't really need to cover much else once you have the bomb down there.
The scary part is getting from the bomb site and over to that position without getting picked off from both spawn and higher, or potentially from behind in the B storage.
Real question is now, can they wake up here? NIP, this is going to be a problem. And there you go. Maikelele wins the duel. We haven't seen too much of him so far on this map, but now all of a sudden in a crucial round, he decides to land that opening shot.
Yeah, he was wide awake. Beast 2 Fly trying to hide in this corner. This is a very dangerous position. He knows they're coming out of Squeak door at some point, so if they end up just surrounding him, maybe he's going to get a kill, but if he goes down, they lose a large amount of control on the bomb side. Great flashbang in. He's going to get the first kill. Can he do more than that, though? He's right next to Forrest, who's going to finally peek out here and get the kill in return. Forrest picks up the bomb. Scream is the one AWPing, and he's got a double kill and a triple now. This is really uncommon.
This is, I mean, they're getting opt by Scream.
Scream seems to be on fire right now. He's hitting with everything. I think you could give him a frying pan and it'd still get headshots.
Which will
It's gonna be
probably
that
do
scout
some
moment.
damage.
Boink.
Yeah, a frying pan to the head definitely does damage. But yeah, he's more or less carrying Epsilon right now. 32 frags. Closest by is GMX on 17. So I think Scream is a big part of why Epsilon are still in this.
Yeah, that's the real strength of Epsilon, basically, is when they swap over to that CT side, because then that's pretty much when Scream gets the shine. There's no decision making but land the shots, and he's just a machine at doing just that. So when he gets on a roll, that's when it really shapes up big. Scream with a headshot on Michael takes him out. Bistufly will find Freiburg, and GMX picks off Exist. NIP are crumbling here on Cash.
They actually did a really good job, NIP, of forcing Scream this far back. I'm surprised he survived all of that, because they really try to hurt him out of the vents there, but now obviously it doesn't matter because there's only 2 people left here for NIP. It's a good headshot from Forrest. Fisher still staying alive, and Get Right just a little bit too far back. And that's going to be it. 13-12, and the round lead is back in favor of Epsilon.
This is the big question now, NIP. Can they actually lock this down? Because money is starting to become an issue here. Epsilon have enough to buy in the next round if they were to lose this one. NIP can't let them get much farther than this. So this is pretty much when NIP have to draw the line in the sand and say, okay, you cannot cross it. This is it. We are going to be able to take this match from here on out. Question is, NIP seem to be just taking a lot of fights. Freiburg with the wallbang!
Yeah, that is so sick. Take Scream down to 38. I mean, at this point, you're right. Scream definitely has been one of the major reasons why Epsilon is still in this. So if they can start around with taking him out, that pretty much cuts the head right out of Epsilon.
Essentially, this could decide it all right now. NIP, I mean, if they could start to get some good momentum, they're going to be able to take over mid now. Epsilon electing to just let it go, fall back to the sites. But the bomb is currently sitting over in Toxic towards B site, so it looks like that's where NIP want to end up eventually. They're rotating everybody over there now, so this is going to be a B play here for NIP. But the positioning from Scream, he's going to be able to rotate in so quickly to support his mates who are already holding that site.
Yeah, definitely can. So can GMX and Fisher buy just enough time? GMX has a good position here. Orb shot rings out, and it's Exist gone. Fisher with the follow-up, but now they start losing players, and Scream has been smoked off. This Molotov might do a little bit, but it's not going to prevent too much. He's going to walk right in on Michael and actually prevents the bomb plant for another couple of seconds. But he goes down. So Beastu and Uzi are the 2 of them going to be able to make up for Scream. Dead. Get Right gets 1. Now it's Forrest. Peeks in, and then it's an instant headshot. Nice triple kill from Forrest in the round. And NIP will make that 13th round. Epsilon, they can actually buy. I'm sure they'll force up even if Scream or someone should actually buy and drop for Scream here. I don't think they can afford to eco in the 27th round, really.
They really can't. And I would actually like, when you have a player who's as hot as Scream is right now, you take one for the team and drop your weapon to him.
They don't. Oh my god.
No, man. It's all good. He's got a weapon.
he's got a CZ, so that's something. But I still would have liked to see him run around with the Colt. Oh, they actually give it to him there.
Yeah, Uzi's the one who's going to hand that off. Michael Lily gets dropped down to 3 HP, though. This really has not been his map. NIP rotating the bomb towards A. It looks like they want to go for a fast play here. They realize that there's so many members out here in mid for Epsilon. This is a big opportunity for NIP to get out.
Beast to right at the edge, going to go down to Get Right. Next in line is Uzi, but 2 of the members on NIP are very, very low, so this can still work out just fine. Scream is going to go down. Uzi way in the back here. Forrest jumping in, and now they know where he is. His position has been revealed. It's a 3-on-4. Uzi doing a nice job, but then Mike Helele will get a parting shot, so it's still a 2-on-2. Health roughly equal. Mike Helele almost burning alive then. And Exist not connecting with that spray at all. So retake from Epsilon and a completely chaotic round. They ended up basically having this fight for the A bomb site prolonged for like 15 seconds straight.
Yeah, it was a bit of a slugfest right there, and could have easily gone NIP's way. I think it was Freiburg who jumped to the top of the container as they were taking the site, and it barely caught out the offer from Epsilon, who was standing towards CT spawn. He survived with like 25 HP or something. If he pokes him down, then all of a sudden they can focus fully on Uzi behind the quad boxes on site. things go Epsilon's way this time. So they make it to 14 rounds, and NIP are back to a force spy.
It's all about the force at this point. They don't want to let Epsilon take this to an overtime situation. They have to stop them here. And they're going to set up for the cut. Smoking up mid, halfway through.
To be fair, they've had a lot of success going for this B-bomb side, just rushing in. So, I mean, maybe it isn't such a bad idea. But, we'll see.
Oh, it's going to be the Molotov. They're going to take so much damage off of this. Exist does manage to make it through fairly quickly, but there it is. Fisher wall banging through. Freiburg is down, and this is looking like an Epsilon round. All 4 members here for Epsilon on this B site.
Yeah, Exist goes down as well. Uzi's there to back it up, and it is looking great right now. Scream, not sure what's going on. I'm not sure what happened, but Michael is coming in from behind, but it's a little bit too late. 1 on 3 for him here. He's going to walk right into Uzi, and he ends up going down. It is a map point currently for Epsilon, 13 to 15. Means we might be going to overpass.
This is very likely at this point. At best, NIP can scrap up a Galil without armor or ZZs with armor. And yeah, we're seeing ZZs, Deagles, and P250s being brought out right now, and it's not the optimal weaponry for a deciding round.
What's really crazy is if they win the round, only 3 members from Epsilon can really buy anything, and I mean, even Beast 2 doesn't have that much, so overtime is not completely impossible either, but obviously Epsilon have the advantage currently.
They've got quite a big advantage at this point because they've got a little bit of a buffer, and they've got the money to back them as well. NIP once again forced into a pistol armor nade situation.
And it seems like they're going to do the same thing that tried out last round, which is going to be a B-split. Unless... Well, actually, the bomb is moving towards A storage, so I don't know if Freiburg's supposed to work as a decoy or something and try to sell the B-fake from NIP.
Well, they've done a bunch of B-splits, so maybe they're just hoping that Epsilon are getting a little bit paranoid. GMX goes down, in fact, and so does Beastie fly now. It's down to Uzi at this bomb site. If he dies, this could crumble for Epsilon. They could be in a horrible position. He gets 1. He's out of bullets. He's going to be dropped, and now Fischer goes down in the middle to Forest. 3 kills here from the Swedish superstar, and it's going to be into 14-15 territory. 2 people on Epsilon side, under $2,000. Not a great position for them, but of course they can still win it. But in overtime, that's when a team like NIP should have a pretty good shot at doing it.
Yeah, it's surprising, because that seemed like NIP got through with ease. I think a lot of it had to do with the entry pack coming up from Forest. That did a lot for them, and they'd been allowed to move so far up into mid that as soon as he picks off the guy in mid connector, everything was just open for the taking on the A-bomb site.
Oh, Freiburg, is he getting chased? Yes, he is. Scream is there, and he's going to get the return kill. Grenade won't do anything at all, so pretty important kill from Scream. If Freiburg just gets away, taking down GMX, that obviously is a huge problem for them.
It's a real problem regardless, even. I mean, they're still 4-on-4 situation, and it looks like Epsilon going for some cheeky play. They're going to try and invade an A main, and they're going to do just that. Forest still takes 1 man with him, though. So NIP still maintaining a slight advantage here in this round.
Michael had a golden opportunity actually to take out Beast to Fly there as he pulled out of A starts, misses the shot, and that could be a big mistake, or yeah, a big mishap from NIP's end. They definitely like to play 2v3 instead of a 3v3 here.
Well, Fischer might once again have the key to their success in his hands right here. If he gets a couple of kills, that's going to be enough. But the smoke goes off again. Beast to Fly can't do too much to help the Molotov to try and force him up. Fischer has to come up big, but he's going to go down. Beast to Fly charging in. And I don't think Scream, even Scream, at 35 kills. Like, who drops 35 kills in 30 rounds? Apparently Scream does. But he's going to have to make it 38 here if he wants to win this map.
Yeah, he has to get the job done, and he's already getting naded down to half HP as well. Michael Elliott going to miss the shot there. He's going to spot out Get Right. He's seeing NIP members left and right, but he just can't seem to find the shot. They're just playing this very well at this point in IP, and they know that he's going to have so little time now that they can even just face it. No problem. Michael Elliott continuing to peak and eventually is rewarded with the kill. We're going to overtime. It is not settled yet.
Oh, man. What a game. And, I mean, Epsilon had a lot of chances to finish this, but at the end of the day, then they just weren't able to.
They weren't. And funnily enough, last time NIP played versus Epsilon on Cash, it ended up in an overtime. So I guess it was fated to happen. But we'll have to see who comes out on top. In the overtime match they played in Fragment Masters, the final result was 19-15 in favor of NIP. So it could definitely happen once again.
Well, Forest starts off well. Uzi's going to go down, Get Right, keep spraying, and almost takes Beast Do Fly with him. So this is definitely a great start. He's going to try and Molotov in onto Beast Do Fly. Is the fire going to spread? Well, he's pretty much boxed in this corner. Scream coming in to try and see if he can help out. And Get Right almost dies to that one. Freiburg drops to Fischer. So now they're going to go back towards the B bomb site where they've had so much success. And Fischer has 16 health and is all alone.
Not a lot of help here, especially since Exist manages to clear up Fischer, who was just holding on that site. Standard position from him, and it doesn't work out. Now it's just the remaining 2 members here for Epsilon, but this is actually a position where they should be seriously considering saving their guns, and they're going to do just that. They're about to lose that CT round, the first one that could set their money up for the rest of this half of overtime. This is not a good start for Epsilon.
Yeah, because we're playing 10,000 starting money here at MR3, which means if you lose the first 2 rounds on the CT side, you're going to be in a world of trouble.
And NIP obviously ready for that. So they go out hunting, pick up both frags, and that's really, really bad if you're Epsilon. If they lose this one, they're basically going to have to do a painfully awful force buy in the last round.
Not at all a lot of fun. Second round of the overtime coming up. Michael has the op. GMX has one as well. They're not going to meet just yet. Freiburg again, playing pretty aggressively over by B.
Those nades. It's like NIP knew what was going on right there, because both Exist and Michael was just standing ready with the nades there, waiting for that boost to pop up.
It's that surprise moment.
Still Epsilon who gets the best start, though, picking up Freiburg there. I think it was GMX picked him off with a AWP, so that's just great, but Get Right.
Yeah, he almost dropped the first player in Epsilon coming in there, and that was Uzi. Then Scream sort of was a little bit too curious, saying, wait, who's shooting at you? What's going on over here? And he walks right into the hail of bullets. And that is actually a pretty crucial return kill. Again, Scream is just the main engine for Epsilon right now. And without an engine, you're just not going to go so far. And this is actually a fake coming out from NIP. They're just making noise over here, but the bomb is going to make its way towards Fischer's position again. Get Right waiting. Looking for a shot. He's going to take down GMX. Should be returned to one by Beastu, but Fischer has to come up big.
Michael is burning to death, just barely. But look at this. Fischer hasn't actually rotated off this site yet. He's still holding from CT. They're going to be able to smoke him off, and this is looking pretty good here for NIP. They should be able to get out onto this site fairly quickly. Exist with the plant. And the remaining members for Epsilon trying to rotate in fairly fast.
And look
as fast as they can from mid.
They want to plant in that spot again that we were talking about earlier. Nice pick off here for Michael. He knows there's someone else, and he can't survive.
No, the wall bang.
Oh, look at this play from this is so clever from Exist. He's actually gone out on the other side of the smoke. Can he get in here quick enough? He can't wallbang through, and he's going to go down. I was hoping he was able to be just a little bit faster, because if he walks all the way out here, I think he can maybe see the edge. Actually, maybe he can't.
No, he can't see anything from there.
Yeah, he can't see anything. I don't even know if he can wallbang.
No, he can't wallbang through both of the boxes either. So, and in addition to that, he was spotted going towards the CT spawn, and I think that's why the Epsilon members more or less jumped on the opportunity to go for that defuse. Because they figured he'd move around towards higher, so that was just well played by Epsilon.
Also 33 kills on Get Right. He's starting to actually catch up to Scream, and we're moving into the last round of the first half of the overtime here. NIP winning a crucial round, but then losing it just barely to Epsilon. Now we'll see if that's going to make a difference in the overall situation here for Epsilon, who obviously want to see that third map. Nice opening from Get Right. He actually spotted Beast Do Fly and then adjusted his aim and just strafed out and killed him. That was pretty well calculated. And then Get Right again, spraying right through. He's playing this A-bomb site incredibly well at the moment. Uzi is going to take the first kill, and the bomb gets Get Right as well. In the meantime, GMX has picked up Forest. So after a great double opening that Get Right gave them, they're now about to lose this round.
This is the turnaround here. All of a sudden, NIP, the ones who are struggling, trying to get on top of the bomb even. So all the way in the corner, Uzi's playing very safely from the site, but because he's got 2 guys covering him from CT spawn, so it gets a bit difficult here for NIP. Although they do manage to put some smokes down to cut this site up. Freiburg will find 1 frag. Uzi's going to get overwhelmed as well by Mikelele, and they just turned it around in the blink of an eye.
And that's a jump up. Mikelele flashes his way in and jumps up on the container. That's a pretty nice trick there. And also Freiburg jumping up on the forklift and all the way up on the catwalk here is going to make it 17 and 16. So 2 more rounds for NIP. The first team to reach 19 rounds will be the winners. Still, Epsilon could win 3 in a row and get up there, but it's going to be tough here on the terrorist side. Man.
Now, where do we go? What do we do with this? Because NIP had a pretty solid half in their CT side. 10-5 was the score for them in the regular time. So clearly, they know what they're about when they're on the CT side. Question is, are Epsilon going to have what it takes to pick up that crucial first round?
Well, they have had... I mean, in the first half, in the normal time, Mikelele ended up playing a lot over at the A-bomb side and never really saw that much action. So you have to wonder if they're going to want to try and find a better place for him. He's currently bottom of the scoreboard. He's not far behind everybody else, but in the first half, he really wasn't doing all that well. But he's heading that way anyway, so it seems like it's pretty much the standard setup here for NIP.
I'm perfectly fine with them keeping up this setup as well, because it does allow you a lot more freedom if you can have an Opper more or less hold down most of the A side by himself.
Look at Freiburg being boosted up here. Fischer has no idea, and Freiburg actually takes way longer than it should, but they will get the kill. It's a well-known boost, but it always catches a couple of people off guard because you don't pull it out every round. So when it only comes out every 50th round, you get a little bit surprised anyway.
Yeah. I think that's the first time I've seen that boost actually be effective.
It's well known, rarely used, I think is the best way to put it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I've never seen that boost actually net a kill, so, well done there. Freiburg in the first round, second half overtime on their CT side, NIP make it work, and they get the entry frag. Epsilon gathering up for a push to A site, but there's the crossfire setup now between Mikelele and Exist. This is going to be pretty tough for the Frenchman to crack.
They might actually think that they've already sort of firebombed Mikelele out of this corner, because they put the Molotov up, but he's still here and buying time for his team. They should be coming in any second. Forrest is going to go up on the high ground here, and Scream goes down. That's the bomb dropped as well. And, I think GoTV just pulled a fast one on us.
Round.
Okay, we time travel again.
They've won it so hard, we're halfway through the next round.
Yeah, apparently. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes GoTV actually just skips a bunch of frames, and that's what we just saw, so... sorry about that, but obviously NIP ended up winning it.
Yeah, they were in a favorable position as well, even after Exist went down, seeing how Forrest managed to pick up 2 kills and start off the next round pretty well.
And a devastating grenade rained over the common boost spot in the middle here, so I mean already Scream is down to 50, and in the overtime Scream actually has only killed 1 person as far as I can tell, right? So that's definitely an issue. Now's not when you want to cool off.
Oh, great nade. Forrest, half blind, still takes out Scream, and that's it, man. Andrews, you just cursed them. NIP are now 1 round away from picking up this map.
He's half blind and running.
And he hits the headshot.
It's Forrest, man.
It's Forrest. But now NIP are 1 round away from securing first seed in the group for the playoffs on Sunday.
That's exactly right. God, this looked so good for Epsilon. I really thought we were going to end up on Overpass, but now it's looking really scary. Get right spots a couple of people up. Mikelele will get that kill. It's down to Beastu and Fischer. 2 on 5 with only 30 seconds left here. It is just not going to work out. Exist comes up from behind, gets the kill, and Fischer's gone as well. And it will be 19-16. So almost history repeating itself here